I really want to get serious with you guys for a minute. I actually want to share with you something. Um, it's in my shadow work journal, as you can see. It's called Less. Reflect on everything you have, both physical and non-physical. Sometimes things can energetically weigh our quality of living down. What do you need less of? And I wrote that I feel like I need less stress and drama. Maybe I've allowed myself to take on much more than I should, making myself too available for others, focusing more on others and their problems rather than my own. I've always tried to save people, whether from their own situation or just themselves, from them making the same mistake, but I can't save everyone. Sometimes I have to let go and allow people to figure it out for themselves. I take on too many problems of others that it becomes my own to deal with. Maybe it's time to let go of the drama and just focus more on things I can change, myself and my ways. I don't know. It's a lot. Now, this was a lot for me because this brought me back into a point in my life. It was a situation where my ex-girlfriend, right? I haven't spoke about her in a minute. My ex-girlfriend, I really genuinely did love her. And if she ever watches this video, hey, I genuinely did love her. But I thought I was in love with her, but I wasn't in love with her. And it was more so, I was mostly scared of being alone. And there were certain things that I had allowed, and I was so available. I was always available. I've always been the person to be available. Whenever you needed someone, I'm available. Whenever you needed the phone call away, I'm available. Regardless of what I'm doing, if I could get it done real quick, I'll call you, I'm available. And when she started to go through problems, I started to make those problems my own problems. I started to make it my own drama. And I know in a relationship, it's like, of course, that's, that, of course, your significant other is going through something, you're going through it too. And then da-da-da-da. But then a lot of people don't get that at some point you have to allow people to fall. I didn't always have someone there. And even when I thought that I could go to someone, I had a friend of mine tell me and say, Alize, I cannot save you all the time. I'm not going to be here all the time. I may not answer your call when you need me because they have their own lives. Even when you're in a relationship, you still have your own life to live. You can't always try to make someone else's problems yours. You can't always try to save somebody. Unless you're Superman, then hey, but you cannot, or Spider-Man, but you can't always save someone. You have to let people fall. You have to allow them to go through the situations that they need to go through because it's a reason they're going through it. God, the universe is going to work it out for them, but they have to go through it. But if you're always available, if you're always there, they're never going to learn from their mistakes. They're never going to grow. We all have to fall. We all have to suffer sometimes because I'm serious, we have to suffer because when we're going through a situation, if we're going through it alone, we come out even more stronger. We come out even more wiser. We come out with so much more growth because we went through it alone. I know you might not agree with me, but sometimes we do need to go through things alone. Sometimes our partners cannot always be there to help us get through it. Because at some point, we have to be able to really be by ourselves. We have to really be able to say, you know what, right now, I need to separate myself. You know, I understand. I'm not saying say fuck what they going through. I'm not saying don't be there. But sometimes when you make yourself so available to so many people, when you're going through something and when you have situations and problems and stress and you're depressed and you're thinking about killing yourself, are those same people there? No, I'm really serious. Ask yourself this question. Are those same people there? We put ourselves on hold, our own problems on hold. My barber told me I need to go and find that Alize. I need to find where I left her because clearly I've lost her and I don't know where she's at. Because I'm over here always helping other people. I'm always available for other people, but I'm not available for me. When am I going to finally put me first? When am I going to finally say, I cannot take on your problems? I am here for you, but I cannot always help you. I can't always be there for you because I'm not going to always be able to be there for you. And sometimes you might have to go it alone. But that doesn't mean that I don't give a damn. That doesn't mean I'm saying F you. But I also have a situation over here. If I can't help myself, and if I can't help myself through the situation and the depression that I'm going through and constantly going through the suicidal thoughts and always thinking maybe it's better off that I'm not here. If my mental health isn't there, what makes you think that I can help you? And that's something that I want to let you know right now. You cannot save everybody, so stop. You can only save yourself. You cannot save everybody. If you can save someone, if you already saved you, then you can save someone else. But baby, I'm letting you know right now, you cannot save everybody because not everybody wants to be saved. Because if you constantly, two things, here, listen to me. The more you constantly keep helping that individual, the more you constantly keep sticking your neck out, the more you constantly make yourself available for it, available for them to bust, to just put their problems on you, to tell you what they going through, to ask you for help, and you're always there. They're never going to learn from the situation on their own, and they're not going to grow from it. They're not going to be able to learn the lesson because you're always there to save them. Stop trying to save them. You cannot save them. You can't save someone from themselves. You can't save them from their situation every time. You might be able to help them, but in the end, where does it leave you? I used to stick my neck out for this girl so much that I would give her my last. And I didn't even know how I was going to make it to work. I gave so much to this girl to the point where I put myself in debt. And that was stupid me, right? But I don't see myself as stupid. I see myself as not knowing any better because I thought I was in love. But I wasn't in love. I was so crazy and so infatuated with this girl to the point where I said I would be willing to do anything for her and she could treat me any kind of way. Because when I needed somebody, when I was going through the depression, when I went to the mental hospital and I was going through and I almost attempted to commit suicide and I wanted to off my life, she was not there for me. Now, if you got somebody else, if you got people in your life that's willing to jump ship and be there for you and save you and they reciprocating that same energy, yes. But I'm talking about the ones who aren't going to reciprocate the same energy. I'm talking about the ones who you have to let fall, who you have to let them go through their situation because you can't always be there to help them. You can't always be there to save them. You have to save yourself. How can you expect to help and save somebody else if you can't even save your damn self? You tell me that. How can you do that? You can't, because it's not possible. You might as well be living in a fantasy world if that's the case. Sometimes people go through what they go through because you have to take the walk alone. They are not alone. They're not. But they have to be willing to find the way. They have to be willing to look inside themselves and figure it out. Because sometimes you got to figure it out by yourself. You're not always going to have someone there. You're not. So this was so emotional for me because I have nothing against my ex. I have nothing against her. You know, I got a lot of love for her. I have nothing against her. I want nothing but the best for her because I don't wish no ill upon her whatsoever. Was I mad at her? Yes. But I also did realize that the things that I did for this girl, the things that I did for her, okay, I did it because I wanted to. I put myself in that situation. But that's because I was always making it, I made her problems my problems. So then when her problems became my problems, I didn't realize, damn, I have problems of my own financially. I have problems of my own mentally. I have problems of my own physically. I'm not even loving me. I'm not putting me first. I'm not focusing on what I need to focus on. So how can I help her? But I was doing so much to the point where it was putting myself back and pushing me further and further back from really actually doing what I needed to do for myself. You have to learn to say no, y'all. I understand that we want to help people. I understand that we want to be there for people, and it's nothing wrong. If you can do it, then do it. But sometimes you have to you have to allow people to fall. You have to allow people to go through the battles and the obstacles that they need to overcome in order to get them to where they need to be. Because everybody has a purpose in life. We do not all have the same purpose. We do not all have the same beliefs. We are not on the same road to where we want to go. We're not. We're put on a world with knowing the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week. We don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know. But we are all here for a reason. And I'm so like, it's crazy because I know y'all might be like, Alize, don't scream at me. It's very emotional for me because I realize that I can't save everybody. I can't help everybody. I can't, because I still have to help myself. I have to save myself. What makes you think that I could step into your life and try to help you with what you need and I can't even help me? Seriously. You get what I'm saying? You can't save everyone. You can't. So stop taking on much more than you need, than what's qualified for you to do. Stop taking on so many problems. As people who are empathic beings, stop being so open, so available to wanting to take on other people's problems, their emotions and what they're feeling and how they're feeling. You can be able to put a block up and you can say, no, I can't do this for you. And if they understand, then that's good. If they don't, then 9 times out of 10, they only wanted you there because they was only convenient for them. You're not a trash can. People cannot just come and dump their problems onto you because they don't know what you're going through. And I'm not saying to not help anybody. I'm not saying to not give a helping hand. But I'm saying that if you can't first help yourself, and if you can't first save you and focus on what you need to focus on that has to do with you and you, where you know what I'm saying, where you're headed in life, then you can't go out there expecting to help and save someone else. When I put these videos out here, I'm not just talking to a huge crowd of individuals. I'm talking to myself as well. Because this is my self-help. This helps me. This helps me to see things differently. This helps me to really put myself in a better state, in a mental state to where I'm able to look at things more clear and actually see that, you know what, I can't save everyone because not everyone is willing to be saved. And for those who are not willing to be saved, you have to let them be. You have to let them go through what they have to go through. The ones who are willing to be saved, by all means, do what you can. But don't do it if you know that you haven't even helped yourself first. Peace.